What's up, everyone? My name is Tyler. You are watching Mom's Basement MMA, and my next guest is a bantamweight contender. He trains at a war training center in Houston, Texas. He'll be fighting soon at CFFC 132 on June 14th. He'll be taking on Christian McAuley. Keron Reed joins me right now. Keron, welcome to the program, sir. What's going on in your gym? Not only are you in camp, but a bunch of your other teammates are also in camp. What's War Training Center been like over the past few weeks with all you guys getting ready to fight?
It's been good, like having people in camp, but sometimes like it get a little bit tougher when a lot of people don't show up to the gym, and I'm in camp and I got like 3 or 4 guys to train with, but it's like a different energy when you got like a lot of people in camp at the same time. I like that. That's how I would rather do my camps too, when everybody in camp together.
I've never asked this question before, so I'm going to ask you because I've always wanted to know. When you go on Tapology, right, and you look at like matchups and you look at how people predict these fights, does it make you laugh like when you're like a big underdog, or does it piss you off and does it motivate you even more when you're getting ready to fight?
It's weird because like I was the underdog for my second amateur fight, and I haven't been the underdog since. But then it's like when I start fighting as a pro, that's when I've been the underdog more and more. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, that shit don't bother me though. Like, it's just a prediction from people who don't even know how to fight. So I don't give a
fuck. Okay, fair enough. I was always curious because like some people get really angry about it, and then other people just think it's funny. And I was curious where you are with all that. And you know what? Fair enough. I think that's probably the right mindset. Your career to date, you obviously are in Houston, and your last fight was in Dallas. And I know that's kind of like a weird situation or a rivalry sort of situation. And when you were getting ready to perform for your most recent fight, did you feel like people were sleeping on you going into that one?
It was weird because the kid, I had more experience than the kid, and he had a couple losses as an amateur, and they still had me as an underdog, and that shit was just weird. So I was like, bro, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, it didn't make sense to me. But no, I don't care about that shit at all. Like, that shit don't even cross my mind to me.
Because I was surprised.
I didn't feel like people were sleeping on me. To me, it was going into the fight, I thought it was gonna be like a super easy fight, but in the fight, the dude was like tough. He could take a punch and he hit hard too. But it wasn't. It was more surprising to me that he was able to hang with me. Like people thinking that I thought it was an easy fight for me at first, but he proved me wrong. It was a good fight, but yeah, people thinking that he was gonna beat me, that shit was crazy to me.
What do you remember most? For people who are new to Keron and don't know what we're talking about his fight at XKO 64s against Gilberto, Melara. What do you remember from that particular matchup? And did you feel like you had like a lot of pressure on your shoulders going into that one? Because, you know, there's a lot at stake, and, you know, everyone's fears like, man, I can't get in the red. I gotta get this win. And how are you feeling going into that fight?
It was just like, to me, I knew I was gonna win, but the only pressure was like being like 500, being a 500 fighter. Like, that's one thing I would tell myself. Like, I will never be like a 500 fighter going forward in my career and shit. So that was the only pressure. Like, just like, and then for some reason, I don't know. You know, I don't get a lot of octagon time because I always have fights pull out, and even I've had 2 fights in the past 16 months, and that's nothing how it was when I was an amateur. So like, for me, like I need like comfortability. Like I haven't been doing this shit for a long time. Like I started like after high school. I was like 18, 19 years old when I started martial arts, and people have been doing this shit since they was like 6, 7 years old. So I need like all the experience I can get, and just that time away from the cage. Like every time I get in there again, it's like I have to start over. Like it's just like a new feeling. Like I'm experiencing MMA fight in the cage all over again. So that shit just be like, it fuck with me sometimes. But like as the fight go on, it'll be moments where I pick it up. So the pressure for me is like I be trying to get finishes and shit. But sometimes I don't always feel like comfortable. But I be having to adjust inside the fight and get comfortable. And then every single fight I have, like I always get like a 10-8 round, but like and they get close to finishing, but I never get to finish. So that shit bug me a little bit.
One of the things, Keron, that I remember so much about you, the CFFC 112 debut is against Kelvin Sterling, and you put on an absolute dominant performance. I mean, there's an argument to be made that you earned multiple 10-8 rounds over the course of that fight.
Yeah.
And, after you dominated the fight, like you were like talking on camera and you were saying like, I fucked this up, I made all these mistakes and stuff, but I'll get better. From that moment to ahead of this next fight, like what has been the biggest difference over the past couple of years in your evolution as a fighter? Like, what are some of the key things that you've worked and improved upon since we last saw you at CFFC 112 to when we're about to see you again, CFFC 132?
The most thing I say, like, I know I got the skills, but the most thing I like focus on the most is just like getting stronger, my cardio, and just building my confidence. That's the only three things I've been worried about. Like I got the skills, like, and I just came. I went to Vegas and I trained in Vegas. I got to train with like Melara. I trained with Patchy. I trained with Raul Rosas. Like I got the skills to like be in there with those guys. It's just the confidence and just the physical attributes that I've been working on. That's all I've been working on. Really. I got such a strong mindset in everything I do, but like I said, like when you're not competing all the time, that just like brings some doubt sometimes. So that's all I've been focused on.
We have an opponent, a really high-level opponent, just like you. His name's Christian McAuley. This is a guy that in private, we've been talking about a little bit. Like you told me a few months back, probably 6 months ago, like, yo, I'm trying to fight this guy. Can you tell me, how did this matchup come together and how did this guy get on your radar? Like, what is it about him that makes you want to fight him?
After I fought in October, I was trying to like, I was supposed to fight for Fury in December, and that fight ended up not happening. I was keeping contact with the promoter for CFFC, and so I just texted him. I just asked him like who he got for me, and he sent me some names. I don't know if you've seen like the people that I fought, but like everybody that I have fought, none of them has any losses on that record. Everybody that I fought has 0 losses. So I just wanted to keep that streak going. And he was like, I watched him and he's undefeated and he got the 3 finishes and shit, but it's something I see in him that like I know I can get out on him. So he just got like, and I just think his style good for my style too.
One of the things about him that people are going to look at is his success with the submissions. And Dylan interviewed him, and one of the things that he talked about over the course of that interview is he was saying like, my anaconda is money, and if I lock you up in it, the fight's going to be over. Like you look at a guy like that poses like a big submission threat. Like, do you have to maybe approach this guy a little bit different compared to some of your other opponents, or is this just like a regular fight to you?
I fought Gabriel Wanderlei. I know his level is way above his level, and I fought off so many of his submissions in the first round of my fighting him. He's not going to be close to him. Like, so I'm not worried about it. And I don't think we're going to end up in any of those positions anyway.
Do you predict that this fight is mostly going to happen off the feet?
It's going to be on the feet, or I'll be on top position. I don't think I give him no positions to him. I know I'm more explosive than him. I'm stronger than him. I'm faster than him. I can't see me giving up any positions against him.
Where do you feel like you have the biggest advantage over McAuley over this fight? Like, is it your speed and striking predominantly, or do you have a different view?
I'm not gonna let Serge at striking because he's a good striker too. But I feel like I'm the more aggressive fighter. I'm more explosive. I'm definitely faster than him. When I watch him fight, I feel like I have more grit than him if it came down to that. And then the people he fought, like come on, bro. He ain't fought nobody like that, bro.
With a win over a guy like McAuley, like people are going to like, that's going to be a big feather in your cap, and that would seemingly put you in the driver's seat to get a big fight next. And what makes sense for you, Keron? Like you go out there, you do your job, and you fight a top guy like Christian McAuley. What do you want next? What would you like to do for the rest of the year?
I think I want to stay with CFFC for the rest of the year. I don't know how to say his name, like the Puciano dude. That's why I want to fight next to him.
Oh, well, there we go. What is it about that guy that makes you want to fight him?
I see the same way I look at McAuley, and I see shit with him. I see the same. They don't have the same problems that I can exploit, but I see shit in him too. Where I originally thought McAuley would be an easier fight than him, but then as I watch more of them, I think Pucciano would be the easier guy. But and they got good records too. But like, you know, I'm gonna take what I can get. Like they got good records, but to me, their skill set is not what people say it is. So it just made me look better.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you tune in UFC Fight Pass. It's going to be a really, really awesome contest between two high-level prospects that I'm really high on. Keron, I did have one question for you. I was a little surprised. I saw the announcement and I saw it was at a catchweight. Is that something that he asked for? Or is that something that you guys negotiated? Can you tell me about the weight for the fight?
I wanted to fight him in December, and he asked for a catchweight at 140, and we agreed to the fight at 140. And then he came back and said that he can make 140 and he wants to do 145. And then the promoter was just like, nah, I'm done with this fight because whatever bullshit. And then after I had 2 fights scheduled against the same guy, and he pulled out both times. So I hit up CFFC promoter again, and he sent me the 3 names again, and I asked for McAuley again, and 135 again. And he asked for a catchweight. I'm like, fuck it. I had already cut weight back-to-back times for the 2 fights that the dude pull out. So I'm like, fuck, I'm not about to cut weight again for the 3rd time. So we could just do the catchweight.
Okay, so 140 pounds, and for you, like it'll be your 2nd time as a professional fighting over on the East Coast. Is it something that you look forward to, like not being the guy that has to worry about selling the tickets for a change, and you just get to show up and fight? Like a lot of guys I talk to, like when you're fighting at home, like waves of people show up to watch you fight.
Boring as fuck, bro.
And a lot of guys actually like fighting on the road because they don't have to deal with all that stuff. Do you feel similarly?
Yeah, it just makes you feel like that it just gets you excited about something. You got to get on the plane, go out of town, you get to see more stuff. And me and my friends, when we go, we just always have fun and shit. So I like fighting out of town more too. And like I said, you don't got to worry about selling tickets and nothing. People blowing up your phone on fight day, the whole fight week. That shit annoying.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, make sure you tune into this fight. It's going to be a really fun, exciting one. Expect the fireworks. Keron, I want to give you the mic, though, man. If there's anyone you wanted to thank or anyone you need to shout out sponsor-wise before I let you go, let's do it.
Shout out to my team, War Training Center, my coaches, Copeland and Jeremy, and just all my training partners that have been in camp with me this whole time. I got for everybody.
Appreciate your time this afternoon. I look forward to having you back on the show real soon.
Appreciate it.